Too much caffeine lately, probably. Okay, so let me just get back to this mess. I'll consider it a victory at this point if I get any sound playing at all in the alien game. Okay, so what were we doing? What were we doing? We were porting over. So we're going to need an issued sound entity. So let's just do that right off. We're going to need, in our entity manager, we're going to need to keep an array of sounds because the mixer wants to look at that. Like I said, this mixer is not particularly abstracted. So I kind of want to get it working and then abstract it. And as soon as I link the mixer here, it's gonna start complaining about other data structures. Ooh. Any managers, right? So I'm going to make this little comment called @mixer. It just means this is a thing that I'm only putting in to placate the mixer that I want to clean up later. So oh, all right. Array add to entity managers. That one entity manager. So the reason we have multiple ones that go in that array is like if you're mixing different universes of sound, like your menu is all one set of sound and your main world is another one and you want to crossfade, then that can be a good way to organize it. But really this should be abstracted to where you have like a handle for each one or something. I'm deciding, I don't want it to be too much like the old way of doing things though, because I'm putting it in a new language. And anytime you put a sizable body of code in the new language, you want to do the right thing for the new language. And I'm still discovering what that is, which is why I'm not trying to a priori make too many big decisions about this kind of thing. No, there are no performance tests right now. We don't even have direct object code generation yet. It's pointless to do performance tests. Okay. What was I doing? Oh, I was looking at this big list of errors and so our entity wants a pointer back to the entity manager. At some point, I might break this up into a few files as well. It might make it easier to work with, but entity manager is a pointer to entity manager. Let's not put that. No, let's put it down here. Whatever. All right, so so we set that. So as always, this kind of code grunt work is about starting with the big set of things and getting it down. So does mixer not include mixer Win32? Or is that just because wave file? Okay, so let's get wave file. All right, so that reduces it quite a lot. Cache decoder. I guess I define that as empty, right? So this is a thing, the full implementation of cache decoder. Let me get all this. in the witness, like decompresses OGG files and ADPCM and stuff in a paged way, so that you can have the whole file in RAM and request pages of it and stuff, and that's all pretty cool. That is commented out in the code right now because I want to get uncompressed sounds. Whoops, I'm doing the wrong thing. I want to get uncompressed sounds to work. Basically, all these at mixers are just a sign of like, hey, we want to refactor the mixer to make it so I don't need to define this in order just to use it. Okay, incompatible structs, vector 3, vector 2. Okay, so we're updating panning for this. Now, what is my best way to do this right now? Let me see, where do we say dot position here? Stream, stream, sound, sound, stream. Not that often. This should really be stream dot position. Because if I can make the stream dot position vector 3, always. And I can say this let's try that. Do I already have a 2vec3? I probably don't. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. No, the witness is all in C++. This language is way too new and experimental to do something like that. And also the witness, you've been working on it 7 years. The last thing you need to do is like, it's not quite 7 years yet, but the last thing you need to do is change the programming language and redo everything. Terrible. Okay, portable ID. Do I not call it that? I do have a portable ID. Oh, that's the wrong program. Wrong program. Oh God, I have a totally different system here. All right, well, put it in. Oh wait, I already got those. Okay, so make entity, or get new entity. And this is all kind of BS, but e.portable ID equals e batch.batch index times it's just a unique ID that we use to look it up. So this whole batching thing is about keeping your entities like SOA in contiguous memory, right? We don't do as well in the witness, so right. Right. So now we've got all these flags for issued sounds. which we probably do want most of these. I'm not going to flag these as mixer because we probably want all these things in the final program. Although the mixer shouldn't, I'm going to flag them as mixer because the mixer shouldn't care what they are. We somehow should be able to get away with not naming those things that the mixer wants. Manager ID. What did we call that type? Manager ID. I'm just going to leave that 0. Time passage rate. And we don't have 2vec3. So 2vec3, vector 2, vector 3, return make vector 3 as v.y 0. And empty flags. We'll put that in entity. We always have entity flags, so that's nothing new. And let's. So again, this is probably something we want in our real game, but we're going to label it as mixer because the mixer shouldn't care what that is. And this is like, hey, if you want to control here, if you have something that's hard-coded for the main world and one for the menu, you can have this function return the volumes of those. And we've linked against the mixer. It's amazing. We're not using it yet. We're not using it yet, but I think we will be using it very soon. So what I need is a function called play sound, for example, like I have here. And we'll make our own version of that. In a minute, I'm going to break this into a separate file probably, because this file is getting a little messy. It's just got, it's not that long, but it's a little messy. Ooh, someone is playing Soma over here. So I'm going to let her turn off the backlights. Something. Why?
I was just thinking.
I don't know about that. Okay. Rather than playing Soma, I am going to make sounds happen. Because that's the way I am. All right, so we're making this play sound. We're just going to load sounds off disk again. Very silly way. All right, let's just try it. Oh, we don't have WAV file. But we do. Okay, this is something that we wrote, which is fine. There's a whole WAV file module, so I can show you that. So this is sort of in the standard library code right now, where it parses a WAV header and returns you information about it. But we don't actually do it directly from a file in here because we don't want to presume how you want to get it. So here, this is just my little glue code to get it straight from a file. Probably that should be in that library as well, but I don't have a way worked out where you can do stuff like this conditionally. Like ideally, you'd like to say, well, if files are loaded, if you're going to use the file library, then the WAV file loading should know about files, right? But otherwise, you don't necessarily want to pull in the dependencies for the file library. So that's something to be worked out. Okay. So we're probably going to complain about something. Yeah, next portable ID. Oh, right. Okay. This needs to, because we're getting entities in a more sophisticated way, we need to do that here. So we need to say a new sound data. We need to say data.entity is get new entity. That'll set up the portable ID, right? So, whoops, that's not, why am I typing that up here? Sound data isn't an entity, sorry. Issued sound is an entity. So we're going to set up its base entity. I'm going to set the sound name. We're going to do this and that. Do all these things. Really, okay, this, right, this is handled by get new entity, so we don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And let's leave the repeating on just to be goofy for now, but okay, 195. All right, sound.entity is get new entity. Ooh, compiler bug. Type mismatch pointer versus non-pointer. I'm saying entity equals pointer to SOA MD. Line 195. Oh, right, because in the other, yeah, so here, so that I can do the base SOA, you know, these are pointers, but in my other demo program, they weren't pointers because we weren't doing that cool SOA thing. That's all. And now we're taking, oh, sorry, I have been quiet for a while. Whoops. I don't have a queue system where questions are highlighted if you do queue. It's just not how it works. Okay, so in Mixer and 672. Right. Yeah. So that's also an abstraction problem that we will fix later. Okay, so let's just make sure this still works. Yay. All right, it's not actually playing any sounds yet. So to play sounds, first we need to get a sound. And why don't I get one from Braid, which is this fine game. And Windows, I hate Windows. Properties, customize. I have to do this on every folder all the time. All right, so we've got some sound effects and stuff from Braid. Let's go to music. Oh, I probably have to do the same on music. All right. We could do this. All right. Because this is the first. Oh, it's ogged. Oh, denied. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. Gonna run gold wave. So we can't decompress OGs yet. Gonna run gold wave. No, you know what? Let's do something more fun. I want some Commodore 64 chip tunes. C64 Commando theme wave download. Website mistype download. I don't want MIDI files. I want MIDI file. Oh, maybe old wave will render MIDI. I doubt it. See if it will. That'd be sweet. Oh, yes. Oh, no, no. What? Come on, guys. Someone must have saved it out to. Oh, here's MP3. Commando. Click here to download. Whoa, that's not right. That is not a recording off the C64. That is someone putting the same MIDI through like a Korg something or other bullshit. God, what is wrong with you people? I want the wave files. Well, we do like Galaga 88. Oh, do we have Mr. Do? Mr. Do. Mr. Do's Castle? Oh, it's MIDI though. God, what's wrong with you people? I want it to sound exactly the same as it did on the game. It means it should not be MIDI. All right. All right. I don't remember what Galaga 88 sounded like. There's no Mr. Do here. Dig Dug 2. Why are there all these bad games here? What is wrong with these people? That does not sound like an 80s video game. What is... Everybody running all these sites is fired. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. What is wrong with you people? Oh my God. I can rip the FLV from YouTube, but then how do I... Come on. I don't know any of these games. I mean, Golden Axe, sort of, but I don't like Golden Axe. It's all... MP3s. Let's get Commando. It's got to be here. No. No, what's wrong with you? Oh, Mr. Do. Oh, Mr. Do. I'm sure this is a very exciting stream of me paging through. There's no Mr. Do. What is wrong with you people? Oh my God. Okay, game soundtracks. I don't remember most of these. Is this another goofy? I don't like this arranged by somebody. And that's the high score theme. I don't want the high score theme. I want the main theme. Okay, I'm going to give up soon and just use the music from Braid because this is absurd. Someone's giving me a link. www.digitpress.com DP sound effects HTM. Berserk? Crazy Climber? Okay, this is individual effects, but not theme songs. All right, screw it. It's taking too long. I don't care anymore. I wanted to do something cool. I tried, and the world did not live up. So we're going to do the original plan. We're going to load this OG. We're going to save it out as a wave. This is going to be way too mellow of a song, but I think it's only fitting for it to be the first song, since it's the first song in Braid. So, all right. So we've got this. We're going to cut that. We're going to put it in. Boom. And now I've surely forgotten to do something, but so down here, before we go into the main loop, I'm going to say play sound mainum mynum. However, it's a tie word, so 2 tie words. Play sound. What were my arguments? Oh, and the entity manager. All right. Let's see how much I forgot to do. Do we hear anything? No. No, we don't. Why not? Why not? Hopefully I have my sound turned on. Oh, I guess I did at least. Yeah, when I opened a couple of those files. So audio on the machine is working. So now is going to be something. Oh, I'm not updating the DTs or something like that. Because like all this wacky stuff that we copied over, like something about it, like current DT. Oh, I was setting that. Well, let's just go into the mixer and add some printfs. Why not? Okay. This print is so great because you can just do that stuff. And I should probably start running this in bytecode, but just to make it easier to run. Oh, you know what? We're not setting up the mixer at all. We're not emitting it. Like I said, I should assert or something if you. Oh no, there is no. Okay. So the way the mixer works is it's an asynchronous threaded thing that looks at the entity manager state to find out what to play. This play sound that I did actually doesn't actually play a sound, technically. It just makes a sound entity and puts it in the world, right? And it's the mixer's job to look at that. And the mixer won't do that if I don't start it up. So I need to do that. So I need to say, so down here when I'm editing all this stuff, before I play the sound, I'll say a sound player is a new sound player. Just I'll put that on the heap, like why not? I'll say init sound player and the window, and let's do multi-threaded. Why not? We'll be daring. So sound player is a pointer to a sound player. I don't have the, what is the window called? Window handle. Window handle. Oh, because my window handle is a void pointer. I need a better error message there. Still don't hear sound. Still don't see printouts. Oh, because I need to update it. You need to update. So the other thing is, you need to update the sound player from the main thread because, like I said, the sound player plays stuff based on the states of your entities, but it doesn't necessarily know when is a safe time. So you sort of insert the sound player at the point in the loop when is a good time to play sound, which is, for example, after you simulate and before you do other things. So I'm going to update that, and we're just going to make a goofy camera position is vector 3. We're not spatializing, so none of this matters right now. Just going to give them dummy versions of each of those. Oh. That's a bad error message. It should say too many levels of pointer, not pointer versus non-pointer. So Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, wait. I have to do better than that. I have to survive till the end of the song. It's a long song. I probably won't survive till the end of the song. Ah, come on, man. I hope that's not too loud. It's pretty loud for me. Oh, no, downgraded. Oh, God. Okay, so you get the idea. All right, so this is good. So what I'm going to start doing now is play sound effects when I shoot stuff and when guys blow up. Now the thing is, sound effects don't ever remove themselves from the world, so that's going to be interesting. But we'll just make it happen. So let's go back to Braid. We'll go to the sounds. So I have, that's a little bit explosion-y. That'll happen when you die. All right. Or no, maybe that's too long. Let's do that. All right. So let's copy this to there. Again, we got to de-wave this, or we got to de-og this for now. We'll re-og it later, maybe. But actually, for Braid, this was a long sound effect, which is why it's ogged. But for modern games, probably not. All right. Save bomb explosion. And okay, we need something for starting a wave. What about clarity? Clarity. It's a little too dramatic. Okay, it's too dramatic. All right. We're going to call this one, okay, this is going to be new wave. We're going to substitute better sounds for all this stuff. Let's arrange by type. But I can never figure out how to make Windows just display what I want anymore. Like usually when you did the list, it would, all right, whatever. By type, wave files. Okay, this is going to be called player dies. And now we need one for enemy dies, which is going to be... None of these are very juicy explosion sounds, honestly, but we'll use this one. And then I need a bullet sound. Very good. I need a bullet. Oh. I like this one. All right, so. Okay, so now we're gonna play some sounds. Oh, you know what? Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna do this for now, but our play sound function is so dumb. It loads the sound every time you play the sound. So that's gonna be completely absurd, and we're just gonna make it work, and it'll be loading these sounds like hell, and then and we'll fix it. Right? Is that the arguments to my play sound right now? Yeah. So we're firing bullet. When does invaders get hit? Can we simulate invaders, maybe? I'm going to drag this kicking and screaming into being a real program at some point. No, it must be in simulate or destroy invader. Here we go. All right. We can maybe play a sound if an invader leaves a pickup, but for now, yeah, we could use the dying rabbit sound maybe. I'll just get these in there and then we'll make it work. So we're gonna play sound new wave. Note that there's no header file here. That's the top of the file. And new wave, fire bullet. Oh, player dies. All right. Let's see if that worked. Like I said, this is going to be ridiculous and load the sounds all the time. Which is also going to add some frame stutter and stuff. Whoa! Okay. First of all my sounds are repeating, so that's no good. This is something, you know, I turned this on. We want our music to be repeating, but nothing else. That was a thing I did in the test program. All right. Non-repeating. Wait, I'm playing the same sound for firing a bullet as an alien dying. That's no good. Did I really do that? Fire bullet? Alien dies. Okay, well, hopefully someone saw me do that on the stream. Oh, someone said that, yes. Okay. That's just such an ugly sound. Do that. Where did that go? Okay. These are not very good sound effects for this game. I need one for when the aliens shoot. This is ridiculous. The mixture of the braid music and the oh, we crashed. I wonder if I have a thread safety problem in my mixer somehow. Probably something more mundane than that. Oh, you know, I'm probably running out of entities or something. Like I didn't. So there's several things that I need to do to make this more real. One is that the sound entities need to clear themselves out after they're done playing, which we don't have a mechanism for right now. And the other is we need to not reload the damn sound effects every time. Someone's sending me a link that says better music. Oh. Not able to play it from the browser. 46 meg WAV file. That'll take a while to download. Anyway. Okay, so let me do a thing that I would do. So usually I have this thing called a sound catalog, or you have an asset catalog where you can look up assets by name and maybe load them the first time if you're in development mode, right? So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to say I have this thing called the sound catalog. It's a struct, and I just have just going to have an array dynamic of sound. Yeah, whatever. An entry. I'm just going to make this top level as well. I'm going to say this has a name and sound data, right? I'm going to say find or load from the using names a string, right? And for entries, if it.name is equal to name, return it.sound data. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, return load wave file. Well, data is load wave file of name and full name and full name. Oh, we'll copy that from down here. I'll call it wave name again. So wave name just for now suffixes this, but if you wanted to prepend a folder or something, you would do that. So this, we're passing an easy name that doesn't have the extension or anything like that, right? So we're going to load the wave file, and if we got it, right, then we return it no matter what. So if it's null, we return null. So if we got a wave file, we add a new entry to the catalog. So array add entries entry. So we're going to say entry is a sound catalog entry dot name is name, entry dot sound data. Well, copy string. Because we don't know if that name is dynamically allocated. Entry.sound data is data. Got it. All right. So basically, the first time we look something up, it won't be here. We'll load it, and subsequent times we will not load it. And I'm going to make a nice big load printout so we can be sure this is working. Print attempting load of. All right. So now down here, where we were doing play sound, we don't want to do this anymore. We want to say sound. Well, let's say data is, we call it the sound catalog right now, right? So find or load from the sound catalog, whatever the name was. And if it didn't exist, we return null. All right. So that's all great. Feel like I forgot to do something. I'm not sure what. Okay. Anyway. I feel like I'm missing several things. Oh, I don't have, I need to make the sound catalog, right? And I'm just going to heap allocate that for no reason except that, maybe later I want to have multiple ones or something, right? So, all right. 147. All right, I always do this. 230, type mismatch. Argument 1 of find or load, wanted sound catalog. I took a pointer too many times. I need to fix that pointer versus non-pointer. It's not the right thing to say in this case. All right, it doesn't look like we're loading all the time. Yeah, okay, so we got a few loads here, right? Attempting load of Manum, attempting load of Fire Bullet, attempting load of Alien Dies. And from there, we're working. Now, we're looking up the sounds in a linear array, right? So in this find or whatever that we called it, we're basically iterating over all the entries linearly. But for the number of sounds we're going to deal with right now, it's fine, right? In the long term, you might want a hash table there or something. Anyway, we'll get rid of that, and let's get rid of some of this other stuff. No? Oh. So that one I'll get rid of. Get rid of that one. All right, now let's, oh, my Dropbox isn't done syncing. I have this WAV file coming in. 9 hours left? What? Dropbox, what is wrong with you? Network is terrible today. Do I have it rate limited? Bandwidth. Don't limit. Well, maybe it's because LAN sync is enabled. I don't even know. 18 hours left. Sweet. What? On my laptop, it's almost done uploading. No. Well, that's not ready yet. Anyway. So I could dig out my indie sound effect library if I have a backup of it that I bought to get more. Let's get hooks for more sounds. Let's get a sound for when aliens fire a bullet. Oh, I also have to make the sounds go away, but let's. These are not really the sounds that I would pick for a Galaga game, honestly. These are all like variations. Hmm. Okay, you know what? So here. I'm gonna make this the fire bullet. And then we'll make this alien fire bullet. Let's call it invader fire bullet. I know it's also called alien dies. Whatever. Whatever, man. Oh, Dropbox is done syncing. Dropbox is done syncing. Let me mute my desktop in case I have spoiler info in the Dropbox. the actual files. All right. So I'm just going to go for broke. I haven't played this wave file yet. This guy could have sent me something horrible. But let's find out. Wait, I got to recompile it. Change the name. It's a little loud. Okay, let's take down the volume on that a little bit. If sound dot volume scale is 0.4, right? It's still a little loud. I can't hear the other sounds. Two. Thank you for getting the commando music, whoever did that. Someone sent me audio, but they were inappropriate. Like the sound effects were all way too long and stuff. So whoever that was, sorry I didn't use it. Now I think the music's too quiet, probably. Oh, damn it, I didn't want that. All right, so we're crashing on level 3 for some reason. I think we have some bug where like I said, the entity manager tries to be careful about laying out guys in memory, and I feel like we're over allocating in some way, and there's a bug there. So I guess I should debug that. You know, if that's true, then it should crash immediately if I make 88 invaders on level 1. Right. No? Oh, well. Or 100. That's weird because I thought I tested this pretty thoroughly. Tested it. All right, well, let's see if that's really the problem. Then if I jack the batch size up to 2000, I shouldn't crash as fast. Right? If, on the other hand, I'm hammering on the mixer problem, it should crash approximately as fast because the mixer is getting just as much load. Oh. Well, I didn't last long. All right, so it's definitely an entity manager thing, I think. Let's try and debug that. Let's take the entities per batch way down so I can survive a little bit. We'll go into levels and we'll make 40. And let's bring the music up again because, you know, can't be that quiet. So once again, this should crash. It should maybe just take a little longer. Oh, it crashed immediately. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so let's look at what it's doing. Actually, let's print out some. See, at this, I'm getting tempted to start splitting this stuff now because I'm getting confused about where things are. Also, it's, you know, this is a totally new system, so I'm not used to what the variables are called and stuff. I wonder if it's that I'm returning an entity that has... Oh, you know, if I... This could be sound related. Because I'm recycling entity IDs. Let's not recycle entity IDs just because, you know, that could be an issue anyway. Equals manager.next portable ID, manager.next portable ID is 1. I can't type today, so we'll do that. Use empty slot manager, and then okay. We started at 1. Use empty slot. I don't think that's the problem, but it could be. Nope. Okay, well, I have a number of routes to debugging this. Again, if I had a real debugger, you could run it in the real debugger immediately. Now let's try it. Let's try deveng traveler.exe. I believe even in release build. Well, here I probably get new entity. It's not a surprise. It's not. Oh, am I not emitting line directives, or can it not? I'm not emitting line directives right now. I mean, see, here's line directives, but I have them commented out. I'm not sure if I want to turn these on. I'm going to leave them commented out, but I'm just going to look. So we're in this function get new entity, and we're dereferencing this R16. Is no good. It's null. I think get new entity is returning null, which it shouldn't ever. Let's try that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's try this one. Where's my console window? E is 0. Yeah, so that's weird, because I thought when I wrote this, see, it's not even making a new batch, which is weird. If it made a new batch, it would have printed this and then returned null. So what the hell? I might have a bug in my coercion to bool. You know what? I bet that fixes it. I bet I know. I bet I know what the problem is. No, I keep running devenv. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. That was all. So I need to make a note about this on my other computer. Say did I destroy all my notes accidentally? Hold on a second, I'm confused by what I'm seeing on my laptop. Oh my God. All right. That was terrible. I think I did something with source control on my main computer here that was not productive. Version is being slow. Network is, I think, able to connect to repository. A2 vision. I need to get the current revision number. I guess I can do. Oh, this is a rat hole. Yeah, my server is not answering. Hopefully it's just that the network is terrible. Anyone hear me? I don't see my own video anymore. Anyone? No, these are all new notes that are not. With Git, I would have destroyed all my work so many times. So I think what's going on is my laptop is just going berserk. It has a bad. Something about the Wi-Fi chip in this thing. Like it's the year 2015, and like we still can't make basic things that are compatible with each other. Like it's berserk sometimes. All right, let me try this again. I'm connected to our other Wi-Fi network. All right, that's working. All right, so those are my notes. And I say fix. I've totally forgotten what I just. What was I doing on the stream? There was some bug that. Oh, it was the if. Okay. there's this thing. Fix me. There is a bug in lax coerce to bool. Right, so when you have an if statement like this, it's traditional in C that you treat the expression as a bool even if it's not a bool. So it's like usually in this language I don't allow loose coercions like that. Like if you passed a pointer to a function expecting a bool, I wouldn't do that conversion for you, I'd give an error. But in this specific case, I like the shorthand, so I was allowing that. And there's a function that says, okay, is E true or is it false? And that apparently still has a bug. Whereas if you do this comparison explicitly, you then evaluate it. It's probably because E is an SOA pointer, and SOA pointers are more than 8 bytes. That's exactly what it is. If E was not an SOA pointer, that code would have worked. But anyway, this is why it's good for me to write a lot of code in this thing before I give it to people to use. I sort of hit all these bugs early and they get worked out. All right. So, no, what? So most of the time being spent there is actually in the Microsoft C compiler. I'm going to do some profiling of my own compiler versus that, but the reason that takes so long, I'm actually compiling a debug build and a release build. I probably shouldn't do that. We're not using the debug build. Oh, all right. I'm going to have to try to survive longer so that we can test this. It's hard though. With so many. Okay, I'm going to turn down the number of guys. Do 25. I can handle 25, right? It's only 25. Shield. Oh, I missed it. I needed that. All right, this is working much better. All right. Oh god. Oh yeah, shield. All right, so a couple things I want to do. Let me get rid of that new batch printf now that we feel like that's stable. So I want to add more sound effects for different states. But before I do that, you'll notice that these sounds are pretty monotonous, right? So I'm going to do oops. This is going to default to true. So perturb, it's a very basic trick in game development. Is if you play a sound a bunch of times, really what you want to do is you want to change the volume and the pitch of the sound a little bit. And to approximate changing the pitch, you change the playback rate a little bit. And this mixer should do all those things because, like I said, it's the witness mixer. So let me just try some of that. Do I have random? Yes. So I don't remember random, how that goes, but okay, so I've just got one global random generator for now, so I'm just going to use that. I say, I've got within range, that's good. So, if perturb, right? So this is going to be a very simple thing. So I'm going to say sound dot volume scale is random get within range of O.81.0. We'll generally make it a little quieter, right? And the rate scale, we're going to go from between about O.88 and about 1.12. I don't remember if I called it rate scale. All right. And we don't want to do that to the music, which is why I made that a parameter that I was setting to false when you play music. So see how those sound a little different now? Whoops. Here I can jack up the perturb to make it even more obvious. Instead of these settings, which are a little subtle, we can go from O.3 to 1 and O.4 to 1.5. This should be really obvious that it's working. These sounds are kind of noise-based, a lot of them, so you don't hear pure tones into it. See that? That was really muffled. See? It's hard to hear my shot sounds over the music. Yeah. All right, so good job, mixer. So you see how that I'm gonna pick some settings that are sort of in the middle here. That's a pretty big perturbation range, but and now I think it's time to get some better sound effects because these ones I don't totally love. So hold on a second. Are the sounds for the explosion delayed? There might be at the beginning of the sample. You mean for the alien explosion? The sample might start off really quiet and pitch in, you know, because like in Braid, that wasn't really a fast action sound effect. So there's a little bit of a delay at the beginning. Not much, honestly. Could be a bug in something I'm doing, though. Okay, let me see if I have a sound effects library here. You get too scared.
Oh, I just wanted to breathe a little.
Is that ruining it by talking over?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you try to do?
I usually think of it as living right
For this one?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn off the desktop again for a second to avoid witness spoilers. I plug in this hard drive and hope that I made a backup of my sound effects little library that I bought because they're lame and don't let you re-download it. It will. It's not that high end of a sound library, but it's fine when you just want to spam a bunch of indie sound effects into your game. Did I back it up though? Because I got my laptop stolen. I don't see it. Not on this. I might have backed it up at home. Well, it's too bad. I have it here though. Nope. What do I do? Maybe I can re-download. Maybe I can. Nope. Oh, wait, account. I have to remember my freaking password. Oh, could not be found. It's email address. This one? I'm sure this is really exciting for you guys to watch on stream. Well, well, this is all very annoying. Let me see if I backed it up on Dropbox. Doubt it. Nope. All right, well, I probably have it at home, but in the meantime, oh wait, I was even looking on the wrong drive. It's goofy. Still not on this drive either. All right. So I think we're gonna, I don't know, does anyone out there want to find free sound effects on the internet and give me a link? Uh-oh. I unplugged the wrong USB device. Hopefully you can hear me. It says you can hear me. Yeah, my files are definitely in another castle right now. I don't like SFXR. Please stop telling me to use it. I don't. The time I would spend, like if I had this library working, I could find sound effects like very quickly, and I wouldn't, and they'd sound like they actually have style and stuff. I mean, SFXR is cool if you want a very certain kind of thing, which I usually don't. No, no, I'm not going to use BFXR. Sorry. Um, hmm, hmm. I can do 1,000 spikes sound effects. Hmm. Yeah, I don't like free sound either because it just takes so long. No, you know what? I'm just gonna. I'm gonna try doing some witness sound effects, but I'm gonna have to because the names of the sounds might have spoilers in them. So I look through UI sounds while. Hmm. Okay, what do I want sounds for? I want sounds for. Uh, oh, you know what? Yeah. So I want a sound effect for when you get a shield pickup, for example, and I want that to repeat until you're done. So um, I can actually play that, and then that when the shield goes away. So those are good. Those are witness UI sounds. I'm just going to copy these over for right now. I want one repeating. So like this will be while the shield's up. And then if you get something while the shield's up, it like you don't actually get it. So I want like you get a pickup or you don't get a pickup. Okay, that's getting a pickup. Yeah, that's all right. We want some for, okay, we want better shooting noises. I don't know if we have better shooting noises in the witness. Hmm. That is not a witness sound effect. It's pretty funny that that's still in there. Having trouble finding a shoot sound. That's a sound from braid. Not from the witness either. Footsteps. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pick this for the new alien shoot just for now because it's high pitched and might be easier to hear over the music. I'm going to turn the music down again a little bit. And okay, we'll make this, what do we call it? Invader fire bullet. Okay, let me turn back on the desktop. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I've closed the witness folder. All right. This will give us at least some things. So rename shield loop, shield begin, shield end, pickup fail, and pickup succeed. Let's play some of these. Okay, so it's been so long since, okay, player got pickup. The ship is shielded. Pickup fail. Else pickup succeed. Right? So it's the downside to having your shields up is that pickups just bounce off the shields. I should make them visually bounce off the shield, but maybe I'll do that later. Countdown is less than 0. Play sound, pickup.entity manager. Shield begin. Let's not do the shield loop yet. The loop's going to be a little more complicated. Countdown. So countdown is just a function. No. Okay, wait, countdown stop at 0, first of all, not -1 in this game. So that I already failed. All right. Countdown. All right. Okay, old invincibility is such a... if ship invincibility countdown 0 and old invincibility is greater than 0. Under those conditions, we just ended. Okay. Let's just try that bag of things. I'll probably mess some things up. Pick up. Oh, right. We'll just use this global entity manager for now. See how that goes. Whoa. So it's almost starting to sound like a real game a little bit. The bullet sound is a little excessive, but whatever. Ah. Oh. All right. So I'm still not reclaiming the sounds, so I should do that. I don't feel like the sounds that we heard are spoilers. None of them were like the solution to the puzzle is 7. Right? Okay. So now I want to make a sound simulate. So I'm going to say for manager dot, what did I call it? Issued sounds. Yeah, for manager dot issued sounds. We have to know when the sound is done. Now, here's the thing about this. In most games so far, I don't actually listen to the audio system about when the sound should be done. And instead I have the sound count its own lifetime down in parallel. And the reason is because, you know, as soon as you involve audio timing in gameplay code, you get, you know, irreproducible results, and then like audio system bugs start messing up your gameplay code and stuff. So I'm going to follow that approach again. I'm going to say, I'm going to give them a lifetime that's going to be a little bit conservatively allocated, and then they'll destroy themselves when they're done. So I'm going to say if, say dt is core time info current real world dt. And I'm going to say my lifetime minus equals dt if my lifetime is less than 0. Say less than instead of less than equal. Remove it. Delete it. What do I do? How do I recycle entities? I say release entity. Yeah. Remember, the reason I I do this release entity is that because we're trying to be efficient about how we're laying out the memory for the base entity, right? We're inheriting from a different chunk of memory than is us, right? So this is us, and this is who we're quote unquote inheriting from, which can be iterated over quickly in an SOA kind of a way. Okay, so we're doing that, and that's fine. So now we just need to make the lifetime. And so you'll notice how we'll know when this is working is if we don't get ridiculous numbers of batches, because if we recycle the entities, we shouldn't use so many batches. Right? The reason all these batches are used is because we're allocating sounds every time anything happens and then never freeing them. Right? So now I want to make this lifetime. Maybe I already have that. I have my time, but not on my lifetime. I don't know. It's a reasonable default. So play sound. All right. So now, some quantity representing how many seconds, right, divided by the rate scale times safety, right? So safety is going to be 1.1. Let's say that's a single precision float. Now the lifetime is going to be, let's see what sound data gives us. I forget which file I define that in. Is that in Mixer? Is it in Mixer? No. Is it in... This is when I could really use a file search. Is it in Mixer async? Yes. This is not where this will live eventually. But like I said, this is a short-term port. So we have the sampling rate. Yeah. All right. So we say n samples is sound.n samples times n channels divided by sound.n channels. We're just going to believe that that's not 0. Oh, wait, we're not setting sound.n channels. Oh, data.n channels, sorry. If data .n channels is equal to 0, log, well, this is goofy, but we'll have a more formalized way of dealing with errors later. So my lifetime is going to be n samples. That should be about right. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Return, I'll return null. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, those look like reasonable numbers, so I'm going to take that print out. what I should be doing is printing when we destroy a sound, right? So oh, I'm never calling this function. I'm never calling sound simulate. There we go. Oh. Ah. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Notice that we only got up to 6 batches that time, whereas it was 30 something before, so that's all working, great. So now, let's get rid of that destroying sound printout. Now it occurs to me that this is not totally right, because repeating sounds, we don't want to do this check to. Like if a sound's repeating, we just want to let it play. So if sound.flags and issued sound repeating, continue, right? Is that the right thing to do? No, it's not called sound, it's called it. Yeah, the going off screen of the guys, like eventually I'll change the motion of these guys to be more spline-like, like you have in Galaga and stuff. This random motion like they're doing now is just a thing that I did initially. Okay, so if it's repeating, so now I wanted to do the shield loop. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make some functions. I'm going to say, this is maybe a little bit overkill, but start shield loop. Maybe start shield loop. Ensure shield loop playing, right? So when we get the shield, we want to make sure this loop sound is playing, right? So what should I do? Oh, you know what? We don't need to ensure that the shield loop is playing. Except that we do have a weird race condition. No, let's do it. Let's be safe about this, because repeating sounds, you know, it's bad news if your game plays a repeating sound and forgets to turn it off, or plays 2 when it meant to play 1, and 1 plays forever. You really don't want that in a game. So so I'm going to say sound find shield loop. If sound return, we're fine. Otherwise, play sound manager shield loop. If sound is issued sound repeating. Okay. So, and ensure shield loop not playing. Starts out the same. We find the shield loop. If it doesn't exist, right? Otherwise, I probably should make a helper function for this, but oh yeah. Array remove sounds sounds. How does array remove work? Does that give me in order to remove? It doesn't return. Oh, that's a utility. I guess I didn't make a non. Let me go look in the C thing. Okay, this returns the number removed. Wait, really? I iterate over the whole array? Yeah. All right. So let's make this return that, and we'll promote it to an S64 because why not? Okay, so array unordered remove. We're going to assert remove is greater than 0 because we found the shield loop. It had better be a live sound that's playing. And we're going to say refactor, put this kind of thing into a more general destroy empty function that we don't have to think too hard about. Delete, not emitter, sound.entity, and delete sound. Okay, so we just need this, find shield loop. Manger, it's not a manger. Okay, so to find a shield loop, we're just gonna be dumb, right? We're gonna iterate over, again, this is, in the long term, we would probably stash a sound ID on the spaceship of like, what's the sound effect of its shield loop, but for now, we're just gonna play it. So we say for manager.issue sounds, if it.sound name is equal to shield loop, return it, return null, and this is, all right. It is called shield loop, right? Yeah. Just do that. It's not the most abstracting thing in the world. Sound flags. Oh, it's just called flags. You know, usually I save flags for a base class. All right, now I got to get a shield. My bullet sound is really not very good. Come on, give me a shield. Give me a shield. Oh, you know what? I'm not setting the repeating flag on it anyway. Shield loop. Oh, no, I am. Right. All right. Sorry. Give me a shield. There's one. It's not playing. because I'm not calling the darn function. I hope somebody caught that. What did I call the other ones? Shield end, shield begin, and shield end. Ensure shield loop playing. I should really have the shield sound be that song from Vanguard, except it's not very long and would get really annoying. It would clash with the commando theme. All right, so you know what? I'm also gonna because the Microsoft compiler is so slow, I'm gonna just build release. All right, 1099. Oh. See, I'm just passing a global entity manager around all the time, which makes that parameter kind of pointless. But at some point, the game gets involved. Like if you're running an editor and gameplay at the same time, you want to be straight about what entity manager you're messing with at all times, which is why I'm going to try not to use the global one where possible. All right, I want my shield. Oh, that was not very good. Let's try again. There it is. Yeah. All right. Now we got a stew going. Oop. Shield! Oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Oh. This is pretty sweet so far. I'm going to commit this because, um, that might be almost enough programming. I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, I'm going to try to do a better bullet sound effect. And then, oh, what else did I want? I want a little effect for when you try to shoot and you're not ready. Oh, maybe. Yeah. All right. Back in a minute. Okay. Well, any questions on what I've been doing or anything like that? Oh. I mean, I suppose I can do one of these. Neither of those is particularly nice sound effects to play a billion times, though. Hmm. Someone's asking, wondering how you normally implement your metaprogramming introspection systems in C++. It's really annoying stuff, yeah, that uses some combination of macros and or manually redefining functions for everything. It's annoying and dumb. And it's what everybody does. Or except for the people who go cold hog and like pre-process their header files into other things, which gets harder and harder to do consistently as C++ becomes a more complicated language. So hmm. None of these effects are good for a space alien game. That would have been a good shield noise. Don't know why I didn't think of that, though. That could work. Little. Yes, of course, this will be open source eventually. Am I more into the structure, the syntax, or both? That question doesn't make any sense. I'm more into making a robust programming language that does what I need. Whatever is necessary to do that is what I do. Come on, copy, paste. But this isn't going to be that good of a firing noise either, but let's try it. Yeah, it's just too small and short for how much crazy noise we've got going. How do I handle pointers in my serialization? You don't generally use pointers. Or the pointers are of a type that the serializer knows how to serialize, and then you recurse into the serialization for the thing that you're pointing at. And if you have a loop somehow of pointers pointing to other pointers pointing back to your root, then you have to just deal with it in some way or another. But generally, I don't do that for things that I serialize. Mm. can I do? I feel like I could take one of these sounds and like crank it through Gold Wave to make something. None of these are very good. None of these are remotely like what. So let's take this sound and this sound. So let's make this one a lot louder. Let's maximize volume here as well. Ugh. Let's cut that off. Maximize it again. We'll just mix this right over the top. That's still not a very pleasant sound, but whatever. Let's put some goofiness. It's too noisy. I could live with that. Probably still not very good, but all right. All right, so now we'll add a little more juice to it. I was asking more questions. Am I creating a heavily opinionated? Why are people asking me this kind of question? Question was, how do you know if the pointer was pointing to a single object or a dynamic array? If it's an array, how do you know it? You just know that the pointer is of a certain type, right? It's a strongly typed language, so you know what it's pointing at. If you don't know what it's pointing at, you have bigger problems than serialization. Have I gotten a chance to play with the compiler on Linux? No. Life is just busy, and dealing with one crappy operating system at a time is all I can manage. And actually, I deal with two because I use iOS every day. I don't program on iOS, but I try to use it. So like 3 crappy operating systems is just too much. I can't handle it. Which is also why I don't use Android anymore, because it was just too much. So, you know, I'll go back and make it work at some point, but it's not a priority right now. Priority right now is to figure out exactly what the language is and get a baseline implemented, and then we can get it ported to the important platforms. All right, so I'm going to make a couple more fire bullet sounds that are just multiples of that. I'm going to go effect, echo. All right. So we'll save that as firebullet2. And go back to the original. Move this one to firebullet1. And this again, 2 echoes. Two echoes. All right. We need a little less delay. Why did it? Oh, yeah. All right. All right. Save as firebullet3. And now you may have guessed what is going to happen. So when I fire bullets, so this fire bullet thing makes 1 bullet. Okay, so I'm going to say num. All right, we got this num shots fired tells us how many bullets already. So I'm going to say sound name sprint fire bullet percent num shots fired. I'm going to say defer 3 sound name. Now I'm hoping that the sound system is dynamically allocating the sound name. All right, let's see. See if that's true. Oh, when I yeah, I copy the string here, so it's fine. Nine 1003. Oh, sounding.data. So strings are not just data pointers. All right, that's still working. Now we got a stew going. Oh yeah. I needed that. Ah! Oh. All right. That's pretty good. I feel like that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of starting to feel like an actual game now. Not too bad. You know what? I'm gonna instead of drawing all this testing stuff, let's draw the score. That'll make us a real game, won't it? We draw the score. Minus, I think that's right. Oh, back buffer height. Back buffer width. I don't allow implicit float to int casts right now, and I think I'm going to, because doing stuff like this, like I just want to take this integer and I want to multiply it by like, no, you know, that's okay. I want to take the back buffer width and multiply it by 0.03. I don't know, just some amount of margin, and you know, I have to convert it to float to do this multiply and then convert back. That's annoying. So I'm probably going to allow that kind of implicit conversion. The thing is, if you are too willy-nilly about implicit conversion from int to float, you can easily get like massive information loss, and that's bad. So we'll see. All right. So text. Let's just try that. Title. I use title again. Text. Hopefully I got that y coordinate. All right. So now sprint score percent invaders destroyed defer free text. What? Oh, yeah, I do keep doing the same thing all the time. I'm just used to in C, I'm used to the strings are just pointers all the time. Oh yeah, now we got a stew going. Where is he? Oh. See, I don't want to get that shield because I need more pickups. There we go. Oh, 33. All right, so we'll do one more thing. Where'd my tea go? I left it in that room. All right, so we got to announce what wave it is, right? Like that's necessary. And we'll do that with a fader. If we'll just say there's some variable called fader alpha is greater than 0. Color, so I alpha is some U32, which is equal to, so we're passing the color here, right, as this. So it's equal to cast to int, or to, well, okay, let's first of all say, alpha is fader alpha times 256.0, we'll clamp alpha between 0 and 255, past U32 alpha, right, and then we'll left shift that by 24 bits, and then I color I alpha or x f. Right. So we're making this number. Probably I shouldn't use that for drawing text because it's a little bit of an anachronism now. You probably want floating point colors in your game, but whatever, I'm working with the interface that I have. And notice I actually have implemented bitwise operators, which I didn't have last time I streamed. Okay, so just to test this, I'm going to say fader alpha is 0.5, fader text is hello sailor, and we're going to not use a font effect. We'll just have the score be in small caps. So we're going to draw text. And the y coordinate is going to be back buffer height times 5 divided by 3. I don't know. Just kind of up there. Times 3 divided by 5, not times 5 divided by 3. So a coordinate system is, I like to have it right-handed everywhere. So y equals 0 is down here, y equals whatever is up here. So fader text. So let's just see if we get, I'll use title again, fader text. Signed versus unsigned. Get string width in pixels. What? Oh, because I didn't specify what this effect is here, it gave me a big number. And then it was like, oh, you have to downcast your big number. All right, so that's working. However, the alpha part is not working. So let me just try this. So I might need to go mess with the shader, right? So this should be like a dim red. Sorry, I'm redefining it. Should be a dim red. It is not. So we're not actually using that color in draw text. So let's do that. This could be a number of things. It could, the function could be not using the color. Or we just might not have that GL state turned on. I assume it's the GL state. I get to remember how to use OpenGL. Let me make sure though, the color, so color, add letter quad. Quad 2. I'm ignoring the color. Okay, well, you know what? Since I was saying this unsigned 32-bit thing is not the right way to go, I'm going to just go ahead and put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to say color. 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 I'm going to make a local color. Not a vector 4, a vector 4. And then this color is going to be a vector 4. This color is going to be a vector 4. And this color is going to be a vector 4. This color is going to be a vector 4. Which means I need math to use font, but whatever. Vector 4 will probably be in basic library for some reason. All right, so I need to do like GL color 4F, X color.mod color, C color.W. And I think I only need to do that once in GL. I don't know. Ooh. Oh yeah, I have this other code. Which shall remain unrun today. If that works. There we go. All right, so I want to do something really hacky. Fader alpha starts at 1, just for now we'll say that, and then after we do all this, fader alpha minus equals dt times O dot 1, so it takes 10 seconds to fade out. What do I set dt to? Yeah, you want, usually you have the game clock and the real world clock, and something that's just a graphical effect, you want the real world clock, because if the game clock is, if you're running it slow for some reason, like it's bullet time or something. Okay, well that's not fading. It's red, but maybe it is. Okay, the alpha, oh, because of this, duh, right? Fader alpha, right? There we go. It is fading. It is fading. All right. So let's fade it out a little faster. We'll make fader alpha 0. We'll make fader text nothing to start. And then in level, actually, we'll put these in levels. So we will say if fader text free fader text.data, fader text equals sprint, stage, whatever number, plus 1, so I guess we start at 0. Theta alpha equals 1. Right type float, left type S64. Ah, weird. All right. I think we need a brighter blue for that. Like a cyanish gray, grayish cyan. Yeah. So you can tell that perturb now has too much on the bullets. Like the bullets sound wacky sometimes. Oh. 60 points. That might be enough for tonight. I don't know. I might have to play some Soma instead. Yeah, someone's suggesting using x squared or something instead of linearly interpolating the alpha. I agree. I mean, in general, though, you probably want to take it through a spline in color space, actually, also, instead of just fading out from one RGB, because that's kind of boring, too. I'm about done with this specific thing. Yeah, let me put a better start stage sound. New wave sound, that's what it's called. New wave. I need some 80s new wave. It's a good sound. Do that. Now I need something better. Oh, a little bit of a harsh sound, but it's good. Come on, man. Oh, I love that I'm drawing the text for the stage under all the explosions. All right. I think I'm gonna maybe stop the stream soon and switch it over to some gaming. I mean, I've been gaming here, but I could play a different game. Dude, Invaders is hitting Steam Early Access tonight, right? That's good enough. That's better than some early access games, right? I should put it up. Let's see what people do. Yeah, I didn't really show most of the really better features of the language tonight because a lot of the interesting features are about what happens when you have a bigger program. And this is still a toy program for all intents and purposes. So, you know, this was more about just getting more real code. Like that audio mixer is a non-trivial amount of real code that came from a real game. Oh, that's what I want to do later. So I'm not playing compressed audio yet. So I want to do that at some point soon. Right now, the music there was all uncompressed and stuff. So that'll be a good thing to do next. It shouldn't be too bad. All right, I'm gonna pause the stream. I'll be back in a few minutes to play something off Steam.